Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to discuss when you should get yourself an American Express card. So many people desire getting themselves an American Express card because they are shiny and they give off a level of prestige and also status. And if you do happen to travel a decent amount, there are going to be different travel benefits that are connected with them to help make your travel experience more enjoyable. But even though all this is true, should you still get yourself an American Express card? I think that most people should wait to get themselves an American Express card. Well, actually, let me correct that. I think that most people should wait to get themselves an American Express card that earns membership reward points. But funny enough, that is the one that most people want to add into their wallet. But I don't think that most people are ready to take full advantage of American Express's most popular cards and the different benefits and perks that are connected with them. American Express has some of the best cards with some of the highest multipliers out there. They also have some of the highest annual fees. So one thing you should ask yourself is, are you a higher spender who can be able to justify paying these higher annual fees because of all the additional points you're going to be earning from these cards because of how much of a higher spender that you are? If not, then it might not make sense to get yourself one of these American Express cards. The American Express Gold card is a beast of a card that has the potential to earn you a ton of points if you spend a lot of money on dining and on groceries. But what if you don't spend a ton of money on those categories? Should you still have this card? Now, you may think that you do spend a lot in these categories, but compare yourself to like a family of four. Chances are you probably don't spend anywhere close to that amount, and a family of four would probably do anything to swap places with you when it came to the amount of money that you spend on dining and groceries as compared to them. It took me a while to realize that although the American Express Gold card is a beast of a card, if you're someone like myself who's working on different sign-up bonuses or shuffles in the Chase Freedom Flex card during different rotating categories for groceries or for dining, I'm probably not someone who gets the best gains from having this card because of the fact that I have other cards I end up using in these categories when I am working on sign-up bonuses or if I get myself a higher points multiplier on certain categories in different months. The American Express Platinum card is another excellent card with American Express that gives you the most lounge access in the game. The welcome offer for this card is usually the highest welcome offer out there that you can get for any personal card when it comes to either how many points you're actually going to be receiving or the potential value for what you can end up redeeming those points for. Everybody wants the American Express Platinum card. I know of people who couldn't even tell me the name of the current card that they have in their wallet who want to have themselves the American Express Platinum card so that they can go over to a restaurant, pull it out and put it on the table to pay for their dining experience, which would actually end up being the worst place to use it because you're not going to be getting very much return for your spend in that category. But even still, people want to have the Platinum card because they are told that this is a great card to have. A lot of people before applying for the Platinum card will look at the page of all the different benefits that are coming with it. They'll see the $695 annual fee and they'll tell themselves, well, I think I can get myself close to $700 in value. So they'll end up just getting the card in hopes that they can offset the annual fee with those different credits. But they're not 100% sure that they really will. They're just hoping that with these credits that they see, that they may end up using them over the next year of having this card. But I find it funny that there are people out there who hope that they can use these different credits and they are essentially prepaying for them. But a lot of these same people wouldn't prepay to get themselves a discount for a Southwest gift card or an Alaskan Airlines gift card, even though they may end up flying with these different airlines. So they wouldn't prepay for those gift cards, but they would prepay to have themselves the American Express Platinum card, but it's because of the prestige that comes with having that Platinum card. Now, some people will tell you it's because of the lounge access, and I get it because most people want to have the option to have lounge access. It is way better to be able to go to an airport and be able to access the lounge as compared to just sitting next to the gate, waiting there for a few hours before your departure. But ask yourself an honest question. How many times did you try to access the lounge in the last year? 1 time? 2 times? Sure, it is better to go into the lounge as compared to sitting right next to the gate, but so is also going to a restaurant at the airport. And the thing about the restaurant and to access it is that you're not going to need to jump through a bunch of different hoops to possibly use this restaurant a few times throughout the year. I understand that having the option is better than not having the option at all, but if you're rarely ever taking advantage of this option or never at all, then I wonder why there's so much focus on actually being able to use this as compared to not. I always found it comical when Priority Pass restaurants were being removed from some cards, how many people were complaining, and many of these people who were complaining about that have never even accessed a Priority Pass restaurant. Now, I understand that there definitely are people who took full advantage of Priority Pass restaurants, but there are many people who are complaining about not being able to get themselves into a Priority Pass restaurant who've never even seen a Priority Pass restaurant. The American Express Platinum Card is designed for people who either spend a lot on flights or fly a lot to give themselves a more comfortable traveling experience. If you're not someone who doesn't fly a lot, then you'd probably be better off with having yourself something like the American Express Green Card instead. Now, the American Express Green Card doesn't get talked about as much as the Gold or the Platinum Card, but it's not a bad card. If you spend a decent amount on travel, but not all on flights, say you spend it on rideshare services and hotels, then the American Express Green Card could be a better fit in your wallet as compared to the Platinum or the Gold Card. However, one of the reasons why you should wait on getting yourself the American Express Green Card, and this can also go for the Gold Card and the Platinum Card, is because redeeming American Express membership reward points for good value can end up being kind of challenging. Now, if you haven't redeemed points before with airlines, you may have heard different talking heads like myself say how you can get yourself a business class flight over to Europe for only 34,000 points with Iberia. Or you can get yourself a first class flight over to Japan for only 72,000 points with Virgin Atlantic on ANA. Wow, this all sounds absolutely amazing. Who wouldn't want to do this? From just one welcome offer from one of these cards and also adding in a transfer bonus, you can get yourself some of these most incredible aspirational flights. And while these awards are possible, and I know it because I've done them, if you're not someone who has some type of guidance to help you find these awards, it can take you an enormous amount of time to be able to locate them. So what do most people do who can't find any of these awards with their American Express membership reward points? Well, they redeem them for a statement credit. Now, I know you watching may be thinking to yourself, well, I would never redeem my points for a statement credit, and maybe you wouldn't, but ask anyone in your real life who has an American Express card that earns membership reward points how they have redeemed those points. Because I can bet you that there's a high probability that the first answer that they're going to give you is going to be for a statement credit, and the second answer is going to be through American Express's travel portal. Now, the travel portal is better, giving you at most 1 cent per point in value, but there are many other cards out there that can give you the same level of value that isn't going to have to be connected with some type of travel portal. So although you can rack up a bunch of points with American Express early on in your credit card journey, I think that ends up being better to start with a different issuer, and then as you begin to understand the game better, then you end up graduating to American Express. So early on in my credit card journey, I had an American Express card, but it was a cashback earning card. And now looking back in hindsight, I am happy that that's the card that I had, because at the time, I didn't have any real knowledge of how to redeem American Express membership reward points, so me having a cashback card was the best option for me to get. So I think if you are early on in your credit card journey and you want to get yourself an American Express card just to be inside of American Express's ecosystem, but you don't quite understand how to redeem points, then getting yourself an American Express cashback card would be the best option in the beginning. But then after that, if you still want to get yourself another American Express card, then the next option I believe you should be looking at would end up being one of their hotel cards. American Express has a number of different options for hotel cards. And the thing about the hotel points is that they're pretty straightforward. And with the points being pretty straightforward, it is difficult to get yourself poor value for any of your hotel points. You can either get yourself multiple days at a cheap hotel or a few days at a luxurious hotel. It's not going to take much research to learn this. What it's really going to come down to is what you're looking for versus the knowledge that you have in the program. Now, after a hotel points earning card, I think the next way to go would end up being a card that earns you airline miles, and American Express has a number of different Delta credit cards. Now, while I don't think you should put a ton of spend on your Delta cards, getting yourself an airlines miles earning card can end up being very useful in the points and miles game, because then you can end up learning how to redeem your miles with Delta, but then also possibly with some of their partner programs as well. And I know there's probably a lot of people out there who don't like Delta miles, and I understand that they are a dynamic pricing program, but there is ways to get yourself good value for your Delta miles. I've been able to, with one Delta card from a sign-up bonus, got myself a flight over to Oregon, a round trip over to Nashville, and also a round trip in business class on Korean Air with my Delta Sky Miles for only $15,000 each way. So while Delta Miles may not end up being the most valuable or having the cheapest award price, they still do have value and have different sweet spots that you can take advantage of. And just like with hotel points, chances are 3 or 4 years from now, if you end up looking back at how you redeem your Delta Sky Miles, there's very little chance you're going to be unhappy with how you redeem your Delta Sky Miles, because it's pretty straightforward as compared to something like your American Express membership reward points, where 4 years from now, you could really be kicking yourself for how you end up redeeming those points. This is the reason why I say it is better to get yourself, if you want an American Express card, a cashback card, a hotel points earning card, or an airline miles earning card. And then if you actually want to jump over to transferable currency points, then I think that it's better to first look at a different issuer before going over to American Express. The other credit card issuers are just so much easier to get yourself good value for. Now, I'm not a huge fan of the Chase Sapphire Reserve card, but if you happen to have the Chase Sapphire Reserve card, you can redeem your points through Chase's travel portal and get yourself a 50% boost. So every point is gonna be worth 1.5 cents, and that's gonna be your base level redemption value for travel. If you were to grab all of American Express's customers who have a membership rewards points earning card and were to look at the base level value, I guarantee that the majority of them are getting themselves below 1.5 cents per point. And even with something like the Chase Sapphire Preferred card that gives you 1.25 cents per point, I still think that's probably better than what most people are getting with their American Express membership rewards points. And if you didn't want to use the travel portal and you want to get yourself more than 1.25 or even 1.5 cents per point with your Chase Ultimate Reward points, well, Chase's transfer partners are some of the easiest ones to use. Not all of them are gonna give you the greatest of value, but they tend to end up being easier ones that are gonna give you better value than either 0.6 cents for a statement credit from American Express or only 1 cent through travel portal from American Express. An easy one that I always recommend to people is going to be transferring over to the World of Hyatt program, because the odds are if you end up redeeming your points with a World of Hyatt stay, you're gonna be getting yourself on average over 1.5 cents per point for a hotel stay. So with Chase, you're not even gonna need to be some type of points and miles genius to be able to get yourself good value. You can either use Chase's travel portal or you could transfer over to the World of Hyatt, and chances are you're gonna be getting yourself decent value for your points. Now, I do want to add in that Hyatt did just integrate Mr. and Mrs. Smith that does give you below 1 cent per point when it comes to redeeming with their program. Not for all of their hotels within Mr. and Mrs. Smith, but for many of them. Now, I don't want to go into a full rant because I could have an entire video about that. And this is supposed to be an American Express video, but I just wanted to add in that note because that is a reality now with the World of Hyatt program. After Chase, when it comes to getting yourself cards that end up earning transferable currencies, then I would say you should look at getting yourself either Capital One or Citi, because they also have an easy base level value for their points. But on top of that, they don't have a once in a lifetime rule when it comes to welcome offers for their cards. If I racked up a bunch of American Express membership reward points early on in my credit card journey, and then I just didn't know what to do with them, so I redeemed them probably for a statement credit, and then later on I still kept those cards, but I learned more about points and miles, I'd probably end up kicking myself for how I ended up redeeming all of those welcome offers. But if I end up comparing that to something like with Chase or with Citi or Capital One, if I end up seeing that, wait a minute, I redeem my points in not the best way of going about it, well, I still can get myself these different welcome offers. It can end up being 24 months or maybe 48 months from when I end up getting the last welcome offer. So if it's been 3 years, then that means that I may only end up being 1 year away to where if I end up canceling the cards, reapplying for them, I can end up getting those welcome offers again, or it's already been past 24 months and I can end up canceling those cards and getting those welcome offers again. Whereas with American Express, it's supposed to be once in a lifetime, so if you end up having the card still open, many data points have shown that once in a lifetime can end up being 7 years after you end up closing that account. So when should you get American Express cards that earn membership reward points? Well, I believe that the best time to do that is going to be when you're someone who is traveling a lot and has a decent understanding of the transfer partners that are connected with American Express and how to take advantage of them. And I don't even think you need to be super advanced when it comes to understanding transfer partners. It could even be just redeeming with Air France for an economy flight over to Paris or a premium economy flight over to Paris and then just getting yourself better value there. But obviously, if you know how to get yourself business and first class flights, well, that's where you're gonna end up getting yourself the best value for the points. Now, I'm not making this video to tell anyone to not get American Express cards. I think American Express cards are great and people should definitely get them and try to take advantage of them because it can allow you to travel like the rich without even being rich. But what I hope for people who are newer to the game understand is that these Amex cards are really good for people who are high spenders, frequent travelers, or understand the points and miles game very well. If you are someone who's not in one of these groups, then it's probably gonna make a lot more sense to rack up many points in other ecosystems before jumping into American Expresses. I understand that the allure is there, but hold off until you're ready to take full advantage of American Express's program. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comment section down below, when did you get your first American Express card that earned membership reward points? Now, if you happen to have any questions about any American Express cards, also drop that down in the comment section down below. I'll do the best I can to answer it. If you happen to be interested in any American Express cards, look in the description box to learn more. I do have different links, and if you do use any of them, it does really help out the channel, and I'll be incredibly thankful for your support. And if you happen to really like this video, do me a favor. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share this video, and have a beautiful rest of your day.